here. Tonight we have a really special evening. We've got some incredible testimonies on various patches with a super patch, and then that to be followed up immediately by our very own Dana Lombardi. Her presentation is next level, and so we're excited to get this show on the road. So with that said, I am really honored to get to have Venita on with us tonight. She is the niece of one of our dear friends, Hector Garcia. And it's just amazing how this technology will find its way where it needs to go. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody out really quick. And then we're going to, Venita, I'll have you unmute yourself. And Venita is just relatively new to the technology, but it doesn't matter. She didn't let any grass grow under her feet. Venita, would you share just a little bit about your journey within just who you are, what you're about in the world, and then share with us your experience with the super patch?
So my name is Venita, and a little under 15 months, I started my healing journey. I used to, take 17 prescription drugs, 3, sometimes 4 times a day. And one day I was having a rough day. My uncle Hector called. He asked me if I had heard of Joe Dispenza. No. And then he sent me a meditation, and here I am now. I don't take not one single prescription drug. I don't resonate with any dis-ease or illness. I meditate 3 to 4 times a day, and I have found who I am. I have found my purpose. I have found everything in me that I had been looking for 44 years. And I just turned 46, and I'm just so thankful. And the super patch has just, oh man, I don't even like it's what it has done for me personally, just in my own journey, it's literally changed me and my fiance's relationship. It has brought me into with the Zen patch. It, it has been I've been more awake in the past 48 hours than I have in the past 46 years.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
You can share, you got me very interested in this relationship stuff. How, in what ways has it helped your relationship?
So the rocket patch is, me and my fiance have been together for 10 years, and I'm 9 years older than him, and sometimes things don't always align right. And he was really a potato couch, and then good old Uncle Hector, a white elephant, there was a rocket in it, and it happened to land into Omar's hands. And he has been going for it every single day since he's had that rocket patch. And I mean, like, door dashing, he's up and at it. He's not allowing me to even do dishes sometimes because he's taking care of it. And it has just, I mean, it really just opened us both up. And then for my personal self with the rocket patch, I've always had a problem with my cycle and hormones. They used to say I was POC, all those jazz. Like I said, I don't resonate with any of that no more. And so putting the rocket patch on regulated me and has made me like, it's phenomenal. I'll never ever go to a menopause pill or premenopause. I will use the rocket forever, and it's literally just brought my fiance's confidence. Like, he sits straight. He's very, very confident now, and he wasn't. And he's more talkative. And for the first time, just a couple of days, he tried the boost on, and whoo! That combination, the boost and the rocket, I'm like, okay, hey.
That's awesome.
Sure, you have some.
Yeah, I've had similar experiences, Venita, and I am so grateful to hear it that it found you as well. It has
Yes.
really helped me with menopause. Any menopausal symptoms that I had subside the minute I put a rocket on.
Yeah, it's amazing. And now I have the Lumi and I'm like a diamond.
And it happens fast. I was like, come on, that can't actually work. And then Lori put one on, and literally within minutes, I could see the difference, the luminous aspects of
Yes.
her
Yeah.
going through. Vanita, we're grateful that you're here. Thank you so much on such short notice to hopping on and sharing your
Yeah.
amazing story.
Yeah, not a
I,
problem.
we look
Yes.
forward to spending a lot more time with you and learning more.
Yes.
Awesome. And with that, one of our community members has been remarkable. We actually just got off of a Zoom, or Lori did, with Erin Garcia. And Erin has just been a joy. She and Wendy Dayton are a team, and they're just doing the deal. They're sharing it. And so Erin's got an amazing testimony tonight. I think she's going to talk a little. Is your husband there, Erin? Okay, we're not going to talk about that. All right, Erin, would you come on and share your testimony?
So actually, I think he does have a testimony, but I'm going to give my part of it. So we've been in the company 2 months now. We figured this out tonight. It's crazy. And I love all the patches. I love my medicine chest. I think I'm going to call it Aaron's Apothecary or something like this, but I have a full-time practice in neuroemotional technique. And also I have 15 grands and 5 grown children, all their drama. So life is crazy. I occasionally use that peace patch, but and we're aged 71 and 72, I don't mind saying, because there's been such clarity of mind even before, like with the focus and things. But that when the Zen arrived, okay, so I had the next day, I think it came on a Monday, Tuesday, and I received a phone call to teach in a ministry on eating disorders, which I have overcome. Now I have a new one. It's a little too, I'm an over recovered anorexic, but they asked me to come 2 days notice and speak on and teach actually a 2 hour class on eating disorders. And I took my piece and I sat down and got everything together. And again, it was 2 day notice. And so it was crazy. I probably would be classed as moderate ADHD. And I think my husband might be moderate ADD. So there's that. But I took the Zen that morning before studying, getting ready. And of course, I have an assistant that helped me put it all together. But I had to fill 2 hours. Now, if you know me, that's not going to be hard, actually. But but my friend that was there in the class said, I have never seen you so calm. And I'm like, what? I thought I was, kind of high energy trying to teach. She says, no, the calmness just came across and I felt aligned. I felt present. I felt aware. I think the awareness factor is like a way beyond like a capacity for awareness like I haven't had. And then the other thing is my husband took the Zen, and that's why I'm lowering my voice because he's in the other room. My daughter came by for Zen, of course, tonight. And now the word's getting out in the family. And he said, I can't, I mean, he goes, I can't explain it. It's like kind of an experience, a mental experience, but he's already very creative. But these patches are taking him to this new level of creativity and like an order in his creativity, if that even makes sense. But this capacity and kind of now I know we have a joy patch, but there's kind of a joy with this. It's like a, I don't even, if you all can come up with a word for this, I would.
Euphoric.
What is it? Euphoric.
Euphoric.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I'm just amazed. This is probably my favorite patch yet. But again, from day to day, there's so many in my medicine cabinet. So
That is
Oh,
beautiful.
thank you, Erin.
Sounds like it helps relationships there too. Zen's amazing.
you got that.
Well, it's just been a joy, Erin. Thank you so much, and I yeah appreciate you sharing and keep this data coming, everybody. If you notice something new and different with the patch that you're wearing, please write it down and share it with us so that we can share these notes because it's been remarkable what we're hearing, the benefits. So thank you, Erin. And next up, we've got our very own Marla Smith. This young lady, like, was one of the early adopters with this. Came in with Dana Lombardi's team, and it is been just a pleasure. Her excitement, but she's got her own personal testimony about the super patches. I know she has a specific one tonight that she's going to share. But Marla, feel free, just share from the heart, like what this has done for you.
Thanks, Troy. I just sent a request over to share my screen because I actually have this documented. I have a question for all of you. If anybody knows the answer, just raise your hand, take yourself off mute, and tell me, do you know what REM stands for? REM.
It's a band, right? I'm kidding.
That one too. All right. Most people don't. Does anybody know? I don't see any hands
Rapid,
up. Jay, are you talking?
yeah, rapid eye movement.
That's what it does stand for, but I have a new acronym that I'm going to share at the end,
Mhm.
and you're going to love it. So, my sharing, Troy, here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to slide my screen over. I do this every day in Teams. Zoom's a little different, so give me a second. Oh, there's some fun pictures of me. My patches. Okay. So I started using REM probably, I'm unsure, November, December timeframe. And it would be the end of November. And so in December, I started wearing my watch and track. I don't usually wear my watch to sleep. Actually, let me back up a minute. I was diagnosed with MS 7 years ago. And prior to that, I didn't have good sleep. I would come home after work and I traveled corporately. So I'd fall asleep in the hotel room at 7 o'clock at night, wake up at 10 or 11, do some work for 2 or 3 hours, depending on which time zone I was on, and then go and sleep again. And I always did that at home as well. So if anybody's familiar, I've taken like magnesium glycinate for many, many years and some sleep aids as well through the years just to have a restful night's sleep. But I just would toss and turn, didn't sleep well, did all the crazy things, tried. So 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with MS, and one of the biggest things I started focusing on was my sleep, but I still was not sleeping well. I would go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. I'd wake up around 2 or 3. I've tried the carnivore. Well, I'm still carnivore, but I've tried the more fat, lower fat, leaner meats, fatter meats, all the things that they say you should do to get a better night's sleep. I do a lot of fasting. I would walk before bed on the treadmill, all those types of things. So I've done whatever you can to have better sleep, colder room, whatever. I started tracking my sleep in December, and this is probably a true picture of how I generally slept. Waking up at 3 a.m., going to bed around 9. I don't know why it says, oh yeah, it does around 9, 10 around here. So I was sleeping 4 hours and 6 minutes a night. That'd be true because I would just lay there sometimes. I'd wake up, I'd sleep really hard, and then I'd wake up. I was getting 1 hour to 1 minute of core sleep or of REM sleep, and of core 1 hour and 48 minutes. You can see that just a little over a month, I went to sleeping 8 hours and 7 minutes a night with 2 hours and 19 minutes of REM sleep and core sleep of 4 hours and 50 minutes. Does anybody know what happens when you're getting this much REM sleep and more? Your body starts repairing itself. You can heal years of trauma. You can heal years of nerve damage. You can heal years of non-sleeping, all with getting 8 hours of sleep. And so I have worked very hard to get to this point. In fact, after this happened, I took the patch off and I went back to 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours. So I have to have the REM patch. I have also added peace in on occasion, and I need to track it better on my tracker, on my watch. In fact, I have 2 watches now, so I'm going to start tracking it on a different watch. I had another watch that was like a $50 watch from Target that we just had laying around. We'd gotten it for my son, and then he got my old Apple Watch. So I charged it last night. I'm going to start wearing that just for sleep so that I can see exactly where my sleep pattern is. and then trying it with REM and sleep, or with REM and peace. So I'm here to tell you that REM works. And the more, I mean, I have to I'm like 8 hours. That's kind of ruining my morning work routine, because if I go to bed at 9, I'm waking up at like 5 or 6, and I have to get up at 4:44 to go walk on a treadmill, do some journaling, get in the word, whatever. And I'm missing that window. And so I'm having this like conversation with myself all day. Like I'm already defeated because my checklist is missed. I've missed my checklist of working out. So I'm pushing my workout later in the day. I haven't quite got onto a schedule yet, but I'm savoring the sleep. So REM is rested every morning.
I love that.
Is the
Right
new
on,
acronym.
Marla.
So
Yeah, congratulations. That's
yeah,
an amazing testimony. Sleep is the number one biohack,
it
you know,
is.
and
And if you're not getting 8, I mean, I used to laugh and they were like, oh yeah, sure, I get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. No, I wasn't. When I started tracking it and realizing it, and I was like, even though I was going to bed at 9 and I would wake up at 3, I was getting, oh, maybe 6. But within that 6 hours, I probably fell asleep around 9:30 or 10, tried to keep the phone out of the room, do all the things you're supposed to do. Red light glasses like Troy, I own those too. Um, Low lights, no lights, fans, all that kind of stuff. I've done everything to try to get sleep, and REM has truly changed my sleep pattern. So I love it.
epic win. You're amazing. Thanks, Marla. We have the same type of an experience, and you know what I say: if you can sleep in and get that rest versus a workout, not every day, but man, it's just like that's a major superpower. I can almost levitate things with my mind when I'm well
Okay, I'll
rested.
need some like boost and victory to like get my workout out.
Well, thank you so much. And we have one more dear friend that I've known through social media for years, and we followed and loved and supported each other. And we're very grateful that she came to our home a couple of weeks ago and was introduced to the Super Patch. And so, Patricia Walker, are you on this evening? I think I saw you.
I am. I'm
Beautiful, Patricia. Will you
I'm
share?
in a parking lot inside my car, so not really such a dark person, but I am tonight.
All right. Well, there
Maybe at the
you
end of the day, I look better in the dark, right? So yes, super grateful. I have been friends, thankfully, with Troy and then Lori, and I saw a post that Troy made, and I was intrigued, so I went to their website. He gave me the information. I watched all the videos, and I was really intrigued by REM because sleep is a problem. So I can totally relate to what she just said. And there was one called Focus, and I have two high stress jobs, and the two don't work together very well. So I was really excited to go hear what they had to say because I trust them. Because I have lots of things at my disposal and I've done lots of things, but I trusted them when they said that. And so I was excited to try it, went, and then I'm not a very patient person, as Lori recognizes. And so she found a way to get me patches, a packet of patches before the shipment, because my shipment actually just came in this week. But so I had the opportunity to try them. But last Friday was a really tough anniversary for me. It was the anniversary of my mom's death. And my mom died in a rehab facility because she was recovering from a hip surgery because she fell coming out of the bathroom because she was unstable and in a memory care place. And that care facility, she caught something, and that's how she passed. And so I was grateful to spend some time last Friday with Troy and Lori. And then I left there and went to the home of an 84-year-old friend who a week before that had told me about how she was really sad because she thought she wasn't going to be able to live in her home alone, which was her greatest wish. That's the only thing she wanted to live out her life, was in her own home, but that she was unsteady on her feet. And I said, well, I just happened to have heard about this patch. And would you try it for a week? And I went off to Washington, which, by the way, was a time zone of 3 hours difference that REM helped me recover from greatly. But I left the patches with her, and when I got back, I come back in with a little baggie full, and I look like a drug dealer getting out with my patches and my baggie. But I I went to her house after their Friday night thing, and I said, how did it work for you, and how are you doing with this? And she started to cry, and she said, I can live in my house now. I'm walking without a cane. And she said, I can do this now. So the greatest way in the world for me to honor my mom is that I got to give this gift to somebody who's alive now. And it means the world to somebody who thinks they're going to have to be taken care of. So anyway, my other thing is that Lori had these patches and thankfully gave them out. So the gift is shared with my great friends that we were able to do this for this lady. And she's like somebody I hope to be someday. She's got so much life in her. So it was really hard for me to see her in a place where she felt vulnerable, and now she feels strong.
That is so powerful, and it is one of my biggest whys. And I am so grateful you got to experience that early on. What I know, and oh, it's so good, Patricia. And as you get to experience more and more, you're brand new. It's what keeps me going every day, because these stories are real and they're absolutely life-changing. So thank you for sharing that. And oh, I have goosebumps on my body.
And thank you for sharing, because if you hadn't shared, I wouldn't have been able to give that gift. So
Awesome.
thank you.
You're so welcome.
And that's a beautiful moral of the story. If we share it, we're changing lives, which is a beautiful thing. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your amazing shares. This is Lori's favorite night. It's become my favorite night as well, and because it really proves the technology, and so with that, those of you who are new, you've heard about some of the amazing benefits of the technology. And now you get to hear a little bit about the business opportunity behind how we're taking Super Patch to the market. And I'm really honored and excited to hear once again my friend Miss Dana Labardi share this amazing story with you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your testimonies today. And Patricia said it right at the end. Thank you, Lori, for sharing. And that's what makes us never work a day in our life. We get to earn an income doing what we're passionate about doing, helping other people. And so I'm going to share my screen and jump right into it. Let's see, where is that share button? And we are going to talk about a business opportunity here with Super Patch. And I love this. We're getting back to original intelligence, OI. We're so used to hearing AI, artificial intelligence. But here at Super Patch, we're getting back to original intelligence. A little bit about me. I have been in the health and wellness space for about 15 years now. A lot of it had to do with my own healing journey. And so now I am fully focused on being a neurological wellness educator. We'll get to that part later. But on top of that, I have been a professional network marketer. Next month, let's see, almost a month. Yeah, next month, it'll be 15 years that I have been in this space. I have had the luxury of being this is my third opportunity at a ground floor opportunity. So without it being ground floor. So hang with me. I'll make that make sense here in just a moment. I don't know why I've been given that, unicorn opportunity 3 times when most people don't even get it 1 time. But I'm here to tell you, I know what to look for. I recognized it immediately and hemmed and hawed about it for about 4 months before jumping in. And since jumping in, I've been able to accomplish quite a bit in such a short amount of time. And so I've been a 1% income earner for the last 14 of the 15 years I've been in this industry. And I could not imagine myself doing anything different because of the freedom that it allows. I get to work when I want, where I want. I choose to work hard and work full time. I do this full time, but I have the freedom of choice because with an industry like this or a business opportunity like this, you really can get the money out of the way quickly. And when no worries, like oftentimes I'll go, oh, wait, today's payday. I wasn't, counting the moments for payday, right? That I spent many of my years prior to that. So, a quick story. The way that I found it was out of necessity. If some of you are old enough to remember the 2008 crash, my husband was a contractor. We employed nine men. Therefore, we felt responsible for 9 families, and he had a flourishing business in Silicon Valley area of California. Well, the crash hit, the works dried up, it slowed down. We didn't lay off the guys. We got behind. We have 4 children, all of whom were in private school at the time, and we had a very large California mortgage. And we ultimately ended up so far behind that we were in active foreclosure. And so our home was going to be sold in June of 2011 on the 6th. So, spoiler alert, it all worked out well because of this industry. I was introduced to a product like this, similar but unicorn nonetheless, and I was one of the first people on the West Coast to bring it to market, and therefore I flourished quickly. And that was in March. It was March 15th of 2011. June 1st, so fast forward, I jump into this company because it worked, and I do feel like some of the best products come out of network marketing. I am a customer of a lot of them, I can say that. And so now fast forward, I'm seeing the money coming in. And so I called the bank on June 1st and I asked for an extension. I said, I've got 4 kids. We have nowhere to go. We need an extension. Mind you, I was not going to lose my home. I was determined and I didn't even look for a rental. They granted me that extension. So I went back to work hard, fast. I prayed like it was up to God and worked like it was up to me. And I'm seeing the money coming in quickly. June 1st, I called the bank, asked the same question. Can I have an extension? 4 kids, nowhere to go. And they said, Mrs. Lombardi, we've seen that we've already done this for you. We're going to do this one more time, but your home will be sold August 6th. And if you're not out of it by then, a sheriff will escort you and anything you can take with you. Gut punch for a second. And then I pulled my bootstraps up and I went to work again. And August 1st, I called the bank and I asked where to wire the money. That was $27,000 in legal fees and back mortgage payments and all of that. Sigh of relief. Network marketing and a passion, a drive, and no plan B saved our home. And so I'm very, very passionate about giving people hope that there is hope to change your financial situation at any stage of the life. So I am a self-proclaimed hope broker. Now, before I jump into a company, because I don't just jump in, it has to meet a few criteria. So let me go over that. There's 4 boxes personally that I check, and I recommend that you do too, before diving further into the culture of the company, the comp plan, all that stuff. Okay. The first one is obvious. We want a consumable product, right? People, our customers are going to take the product, use the patches. They're going to want more. And so you do the work once and they reorder for a long time, right? So yay, super patch, we can check consumable product. Okay. It's a lot like a music artist. They write and record songs, and then they record it one time, and every time it gets played on radio, they make a little residual income. So consumable product. Number 2, we want to have a product that offers something to everyone, not just women. Therefore, skincare wouldn't have been my jam. Cosmetics wouldn't have been my jam, because mostly the demographic is women, right? Not children and men, typically. So not that those are bad. That just isn't what I wanted. I did not want to limit my demographic. So luckily here at Super Patch, we've got something to offer from the cradle to the grave. And I'm going to prove it right now with my sweet grandson, 18 months old, getting some molars. And he was in a lot of pain, very cranky. So
where does it hurt, Baba? Can I feel? You're trying to eat your lunch and it's not working, is it? Let me feel. Oh, Baba, does that feel good? Oh, okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. What? Are you feeling better? Are you gonna have some blueberries? Yeah. Good. Woo! Bubba, how big are you? Little big. Hey, Bubba, now you're able to eat your lunch. Is that so good? And you're smiley. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that pain patch really helped you, bud. Yeah, because you weren't even eating those. Wow.
So, cradle to grave. And you cannot tell me that there is placebo, and you can't tell me that a little 18, 19-month-old baby can lie about the results. I placed that freedom patch on his back between his shoulder blades so that he couldn't rip it off. And side note, super patch does say 8 years of age, and that's simply because of a choking hazard. You don't want to, have a baby take that off and put it in their mouth, which babies tend to do. So, you also want a company that's at least 5 years old. Network marketing companies pop up all the time. They're a lot like the NFL. Everybody wants in, but very few make it. And up to that 5 year mark, companies fold, and it can be because they can't keep up with demand. They've got too much debt. They didn't grow as quickly as they needed to, or they grew too fast, right? Once a company hits 5 years old, they have a 50% chance of making it, which is better than under 5 years old, right? Last thing I want to do is spend my time, my effort, my resources in building a business only to have their doors closed. I've seen it happen way more than I am happy to announce. Now, when a company hits 8 years old, that ratio goes up to 72%. They have a 72% more chance to make it once they hit that. They've gotten all those wrinkles ironed out, if you will. So, yay, Super Patch. We are actually a 17-year-old company, but only in the network space, network marketing space, or direct selling space for about 3 years, little over 3 years. And so, ground floor. I bet you didn't hear about Super Patch just out and about. Somebody had to verbally tell you about it. I still run into people all the time. They know patches, but not Super Patch. So this is a ground floor opportunity. And then number 4, you want a sizzle product. What does that mean? It means it matches timing and trends. You guys, we spent time in COVID, and that really opened people's minds to see that there are alternative ways. And with Super Patch, we're able to literally change our medicine cabinets out, or apothecaries, I love that tonight, out to swap some of these over the counter or even prescription medications for patches, no ingredient patches, right? So it matches timing and trends. It does what it says it does. You just saw Desmond with his teeth. I had the same experience with the Freedom Patch, which I'll tell you about when we get to that. But we have little, or to be a sizzle product, you want little to no competition. We have no competition, ladies and gentlemen. We are a copyrighted product, not patented. What's the difference? Patents expire, and then everybody else can take advantage of that discovery. Copyright survives the filer 50 years beyond their death. So we are safe. Nobody can have our technology. We are it. So talk about sizzle, okay? So we own our own intellectual property. Again, it is unduplicatable, which I think really gives us an edge in the market. Okay, so here are some reasons why I chose Super Patch. No ingredients, no drugs, no chemical, no ingestion. I would rather put a Super Patch on for pain than take a pain medication. And we hear testimonies all the time about the Freedom Patch, right? So I'm really, really happy about that. It works with the body, not against it. We're not adding stimulants where you're going to crash later. We're not adding anything that's going to give us side effects that are worse than, if you've ever watched a prescription drug company, their warnings are much longer than the actual benefits, right? I want to be very clear. I am not anti-big pharma. I am very last resort big pharma, and I have not had a pharmaceutical in my body in many years. It can be done, I can promise. Okay, this is simple, safe, and non-evasive, and people are getting results. You heard some of them tonight. Super Patch uses VTT technology, vibrotactile trigger technology. It basically communicates with the nervous system through the receptors of your skin. It would be the same result as if I were to put a hot rock in your hand. You would know to drop that rock instantly. Why? Because your skin receptors through the ion sent a message immediately to the brain. That's going to hurt you if you hold on to it too long. So we can actually put these patches that are raised ridges on our skin, coded uniquely with a certain code. So whatever symptoms you're looking to get some relief from, that would be the patch you would choose. And you're going to learn about those here in just a moment. I love that the body responds naturally. I am not overloading or taxing my liver. There are no side effects, like I said. And this is really why I chose to take a serious look at Super Patch. Okay, we are not a copycat company, which is really important. Now, I want to show you. Now, I did this video recent was Valentine's Day, hence all the pink and red. But I want to show you. I sped it up for time purposes. This is how we can prove to people instantly how that patch messages the brain instantly. Now, you'll notice I want you to watch her feet and her body, right? She, before the patch, is not stable. I could knock her over if I wanted to, right? And then we put the patch on her, and I want you to watch her feet and how stable, and maybe pay attention to her facial expression. She was quite surprised. So here we go. Now, if I were have taken that patch off right then and done that whole test again, she would have been just as unstable as she was in the beginning. So this right here is one of the biggest tools that we use here at Super Patch just to show people how it works. And even the skeptics can be won over. So that's amazing. I want you to meet Jay Dollywall here. He is our founder and CEO. A little bit about him. He actually, his mom in 1984 was diagnosed with MS, and he had made a lot of money in the tech industry. In his words, he made more money than he could spend in a lifetime, which allowed him the freedom to get his mom the very best medical care with her diagnosis. And what he watched was he watched the doctors in the medical field get her as far as they could get her. And eventually the message was, listen, her body isn't hearing her brain and her brain isn't hearing her body. And so he thought there has to be a neuro signal that we can change. And so he took 25 million dollars of his own money and spent 14 plus years, we're 17 now, but spent 14 plus years researching all things brain and neurology. And what he discovered is we all think that, or I thought anyway, that the brain works on brain waves, right? That isn't true. He discovered that it works in spirals. And so he figured out how to get the corresponding equal opposite spiral to send the opposite message than what we are receiving at the moment. So we have got, he loves, loves, loves being in a drug-free world. He has been offered, the last offer he got was recently. I was on a Zoom and saw a business card of a very known big pharma company wanting to buy our patches, to white label them, put their label on them for $1 billion. So we may not be a household name now, but we are going to be. And so timing is critical. So I applaud you for being interested in learning a little bit about this opportunity. Okay, now Jay Dollywall is about the best, always the best. He's like, here's good, but let's do better. Now that's better, let's do best. So take a quick look at our scientific and performance advisory team. We've got doctors on here, we've got practitioners, we've got athletes, professional athletes, we've got the gamut. And so had we had just that top row, we would have been doing great. But he's like, no, it's got to get better and better and better. Now, when you go to the website, which you can ask the person that invited you tonight for a link, these pictures are all there, and under them it'll say read more. So you literally can open each of these bios from all of these people that are on our advisory team and learn about the excellence that they bring to their field. Okay, right under that, we have all of the studies, or most of the oops, let's see. Why isn't that moving? Here we go. We've got them all listed here, and just under, and this is right under that on the front page of the website. So the science is settled. We don't have to prove to anybody that these work. The science is here. And if you are a study geek like I am at times, I want to go read these, and you can click read more on the front page of that website and learn all about the science behind these patches. Okay. And it just keeps going. All right. So as a result of Jay's dedication and excellent attitude about being the best, I want to introduce you to the super patch. Each one of these pouches has 30 patches in them, and they all are coded for different things. You heard tonight about REM, which I love that tracking, Marla. That was amazing. You've heard about Rocket. You've heard about several of these patches. So I'm going to go through them quickly. Okay. Freedom. This was my first experience. I was at Lori Old's house for book club, and I had injured my shoulder and I was in a lot of pain. And I was getting ready to go to a ranch where we were going to horseback ride, line dance, fly fish. And I was saying to her, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And she goes, hold on, I just learned about these patches. I'm like, whoa, 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 what's in it? She's like, nothing. So I rolled my eyes and I was grateful. I trust her and I love her. And I thought, great. So she gives me the patch. I have my husband actually place it on my body. And within less than a minute, I was windmilling my arm, and I couldn't, I mean, anytime I would move it slightly, I would wince. It was that painful. So that was my first experience. And I thought, holy wow, if that can take the pain away, then what else can this patch offer, right? Now, when I took that patch off, the pain was still there. So you got to kind of keep that in mind too. You don't want to further damage. So I called Lori. I said, you got to get me a couple more of these. I need like 5 days worth so I can get through my ranch experience. And she, I found out later, drove all over town picking these up and made sure that I was covered with my Freedom patch. So this you can wear each patch for 24 hours. And as long as it's got full contact, it's going to continue to tell that message to the brain. Boost. If you are a caffeine nut, or you find at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon that you need a little boost of energy, but I know if it were me and I drank a cup of coffee at 2:30 in the afternoon, there was no way I was going to sleep that night. My husband, he could sleep and drink a cup of coffee and he could sleep. I don't get it. But anyway, I love this because I can put this boost patch on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, have the energy I need to get through making dinner, making phone calls, whatever else I have to do. And when I am ready for bed, I take that one off. The message is no longer being sent to my brain, and there is no crash. It just gives me that great, steady energy. Okay. And then I put my REM patch on. So we'll get to that in a minute. Liberty, that is the one that you saw me do that stability test. This is the original, very first patch that Jay created for his mom. It improves balance and stability. It lateralizes the brain. So if you're stronger on one side, weaker on the other, it's actually going to align those so that they're straight. We call this one, or balanced. We call this one the operating system. So all the other patches work better when you're wearing Liberty. That is not to say that you have to wear Liberty with any of the other patches to work. I did not have a Liberty on when I used the Freedom patch, and that Freedom patch worked just fine. But if there's a patch that you're not getting optimal results, then throw a Liberty on and boom, you're going to be in business. Okay, Rem, you heard, I don't really even need to talk much about this. You heard Marla's testimony tonight. It is clinically proven to put you to sleep 50% faster. For me, it's like 95% faster. I put it on and I'm asleep. Like I'm in the middle of a sentence with my husband. I'm like, I'm out. So, and then it keeps you in that REM deep sleep 25% longer. Marla, I'd be interested in doing the math on your grid and see if it was more than 25%. It kind of seemed like it was. Peace. This is going to reduce those anxiety feelings. I know quite a few people that do struggle with anxiety. I have been through a tremendous amount of stress in the last several months. It's definitely getting less and less now, especially while I wear the peace patch. What this does for me and for a lot of my clients that I'm hearing is once I put that on, that gut punch feeling goes away, that feeling of dread goes away, those butterflies, that heart palpitation feeling goes away. The situation is still there, but your body is able to handle it much more calm. This also helps to get the body into parasympathetic. So the opposite of parasympathetic is fight or flight. So I love to mention this, especially when using the Freedom Patch. If you put that Freedom Patch on and you aren't, you're getting it, it's definitely going to be better, right? You're going to feel the edge is off, or it's going to be better. If it's not working 100%, taking that pain away, or at least 90% away, right? You could be in fight or flight. You pop a peace patch on your body, and that is going to put you in parasympathetic, which now means that your brain can hear that message that Freedom Patch is sending. So if you order Freedom, I highly recommend that you order Peace to go with that. Defend supports a healthy immune system. You've heard that gut-brain connection. We clean up the gut, the brain works better. Well, when you send messages to the brain, now the gut works better. It goes hand in hand. This is amazing at symptom relief instantly. My husband was at Lori and Troy's house, a different occasion. He was sitting next to their cat who was being rehabilitated from an accident. And my husband's been allergic to cats and all the things for many, many years. It had been under control, but new dander, new fur, and he was sneezing, obnoxiously sneezing. We were like trying to have a conversation. He's over there just chewing away. Eyes are going, nose is going, and Lori goes, hold it. And she grabs a Defend patch, pops it on him, and within seconds, the eyes stopped watering. Within minutes, the nose cleared up and there was no more sneezing. My husband looks at me and he's like, what in the heck just happened? And I'm like, hey, it's in the patch. Focus does just that. This actually helps to improve cognitive performance. It's going to help memory retention, and it is going to let you engage the part of your brain that will keep you focused. Start and finish a task. I know that for me, especially around month end, I've got a lot going on and I'm like, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Oh, I forgot and I got to do this and I need da 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 da. I can pop this focus patch on and I am locked in. Okay, this one I'm excited to share. Ignite works with your metabolic function. It is clinically proven to burn 50 up to 25% more calories at rest. That equates to about 300 to 500 calories per day. They did this study 3 times. The first time they got it back, they were like, no, that seems a little too good to be true. Something happened. Let's do it again. They did it again. Same thing, same result. They were like, that just is a lot of calories to be burning at rest. They did it a third time and they got the exact same result. I tested this product in the month of January. Excuse me. I did not change my eating habits. In fact, I traveled 9 days out of that month. And so I wasn't even in control of what I normally eat. And I figured if my body is burning 500 calories a day, that would equate to a pound a week loss, right? Because it takes a 3,500 calorie deficit to lose 1 pound. If my body is burning 300 calories or somewhere in between, that's going to be 2 to 3 pounds in a month. And I am happy to report that I was down 2.5 pounds in the month of January, not changing anything else. So I'm loving this. I still wear this every single day. I figure if I'm going to burn 2.5 pounds a month at rest by putting this Ignite on, that's 25 pounds a year. Why not? Right? So loving the Ignite patch. Great for just weight management. You don't have to need to lose weight, but sometimes you want to splurge and have those extra calories. Joy. This is wonderful for people who struggle with the symptoms that are related to depression, right? Sadness, gloom and doom. This actually will send a message to the brain that says, hey, body, we need some happy hormones to be released, and that's what will happen. This is really great for that seasonal time. If you live where it's foggy and not a lot of sunshine, you're not getting your natural vitamin D. Have some joy in your medicine cabinet for those days. Kick it. This is willpower like crazy. Willpower in a patch. This is going to stop that looping thought process. Okay. There are carbs in my pantry. I need carbs. I want that chocolate. I should go get that chocolate. It's going to break that, right? So it's going to help you with your willpower. If you've ever had those thoughts where, did I lock the car? Did I turn the car off? Is the car locked? Yeah, I think I locked the car. You need to get that looping thought to stop. That can be anything having to do with cravings. If you have any kind of an addiction to food, to smoking, to alcohol, to drugs, and you really want to kick that habit, throw a kick it patch on, and that's going to help you achieve that goal. Lumi, I think, Lori, we talked about that one tonight. That enhances, well, here's the tagline, glow like never before. She popped one of these on me the day that my husband had the Defend patch. And about an hour into our conversation, she goes, you need to go look in the mirror. And I looked in the mirror and I saw the glow. This is really good for cellular regeneration, which means it's really good for your digestive system as well. Fun fact, that same day after we left Lori and Troy's, Mike and I went to lunch. It was kind of a late lunch, early dinner. And about halfway through our meal, he leans in and he goes, wow, you're really glowy. And I'm like, oh, and he didn't know I had the Lumi patch on. So it wasn't just noticed by me, it was noticed by the man that looks at me every day. So, okay. And then Rocket, you heard about that. This was originally created for men, but more women are buying and using these patches. I am one of them. February is the month I'm testing this out. And I will tell you, if you are 30 to 40 years old, you need to be wearing the Rocket patch every single day for a week before you start noticing a change. Okay. Some people are a little faster. Some people need a little longer. If you're 40 to 50, it's 2 weeks. And if you're over 50, it's 3 weeks. So I just hit my 3 week mark with this. And I can tell you, and men, I'm sorry. But when your hormones are out of whack, if you've ever seen women like doing this to their chin, it's because they have these little whiskers and they are unacceptable. They have no place to be on the chin, and I don't have them. So that by itself, ladies, is worth the Rocket. Lori's going like that. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. Are you realizing that now? See? Okay. Rocket and then Victory. Victory is to increase your athleticism. Now, this is in every locker room of the NFL. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. I actually have an appointment with the head coach at Sacramento State Gymnastics team this next weekend, and we're going to be testing it on her athletes. We just finished a study at Arizona State University Athletic Department. That study is on that front page of the website. You can click into it and read that. But they are finding increased stamina and endurance, higher VO2 levels, which is really important. Strength. We've seen people work out to fatigue, pop this Victory patch on, and now they can do a max more than just 1 rep. So if you want to up your gym game, grab some Victory. Really good for blood flow as well. And we're seeing people that have that. So we work with symptoms, not diagnosis, is the prickly pins and needle feeling at your feet, that kind of thing. This is a great patch to pair with a couple of our other patches to get rid of those side effects. Okay, and now we've got 2 new patches, Assure and Zen. Assure is for nausea, vertigo, morning sickness, ladies who are newly pregnant. If you find yourself being nauseous in the morning, pop one of those on and it's going to take it away. Go ahead and take that cruise and go on that curvy drive in the back seat while reading a book. pop the Assure on and you're going to find some relief. I mean, I haven't tested that, but I just thought that was fun to, read a book on a windy road. Zen, we are seeing some amazing results with this. So this actually engages 5 cognitive networks in the brain. And what we're seeing is mood, cognitive balance, decision making, information flow, like you are noticing things you wouldn't necessarily, you're clarity, memory, attention. Like this is kind of the patch that they were explaining earlier in the call that gives you this sense of euphoria. So that is our Zen. It will be available. It's available right now if you do a smart ship, but it'll be available March 2nd for purchase as individual packages. So make sure to have those in your medicine cabinet. Okay, I'm just going to pop a whole bunch of these testimonies on this screen. You can read these testimonies in one of our groups that if you are not part of, it's called It's Not Magic, It's Neurocoding. Ask the person that invited you tonight to get into that group and you will see these testimonies. You can take a picture of this slide if you would like quickly and then read through those. Bottom line is, these patches work. It's not just us telling you, it's everybody who puts them on that are willing to share. Okay, now one of the things with super patches, we've got 2 ways to go about getting these patches. We've got our product users. They just want to feel the difference. They just want to have those in their medicine cabinet so that instead of grabbing for, the Tylenol or the ibuprofen, they're going to go grab a Freedom Patch, or instead of grabbing the energy drink, they're going to grab Boost. You get my drift, okay? If you ask the person that invited you to this Zoom tonight for their link, that link is going to save you $30 instantly, no coupon code needed. The retail price for 30 patches is $99. You'll get them for $69. And if you choose to subscribe, we're going to knock another $4 off of that and you'll pay $65. Okay? Now, the other kind of person is the business builder. Whether you want to build a business sometime, maybe share it enough to pay for your product. You want to do it part-time. You want to earn 500, 800 more dollars a month just to make ends meet, pay off some debt, take the vacation, or you want to do it full-time like I do and like many people on this call do. You can do that. $40 gets you a replicated website. It gets you wholesale pricing. You actually gets you the ability to buy in bulk with some packages that are available, at which gives you a higher profit margin when you are selling these patches to people directly. Again, you'll get your replicated website that comes with that coupon code for your clients or customers. You get back office training. You get training and resources. We've got a launch app that is incredible. You never have to go, what do I do next? It's all there for you. And it's only $25 a year to renew. If you were going to open a shop, you got to pay the lease, the insurance on that property, the inventory. It's thousands and thousands of dollars to get a business started, and you get to do it for $40. So ask the person that invited you tonight for a link. You'll go to that link. You'll click Become an Associate. Follow the prompts all the way to the end. And there are some packs that you will see. These are going to be changing soon. But for now, we've got the Flex 40. This pack is how I came in. You guys, you do not want to run out of patches, because when you start patching people, and had Lori given me a Freedom Patch and not been able to give me any more, what a shame. I would have suffered needlessly. So this Flex 40 allows you to choose every single one of the patches that you want. And the person that invited you, they can help you say you need extra liberties and you definitely want some extra freedoms and we can help you with that. When you come in at this price point, that brings your patch price down to $38 and some change. So think about selling those for $69 or even $99. You've got a really nice profit margin right there. Okay. The other kit that's available to you tonight is called the Omega. It gives you 17 packs. You don't get to choose them. They come with a really good variety. You don't get all of them, but you get a good variety of the patches to get you started. So those are the 2 main packs. There is one more pack, but what sets it different from these is it doesn't come with fast start qualification. So when you come in with one of these patches, you are now eligible to earn fast start bonuses. And the person that invited you tonight can tell you what those are, but you want those because when you start sharing them, you want to get the 200 here, the 400 there, 600 there. You want to go grabbing all of these bonuses that you can, and these packs allow you to do that. Okay, speaking of fast start bonuses, this is a one-page kind of a compensation plan at a glance. I want to call your attention to that very top row. In fact, let's just pull that out. Here we go. When you are fast start qualified, you get to earn the hat trick bonus right out the gate. You have 30 days to do that. You enroll 3 people with one of those packs that I just mentioned, and you'll earn $200 on top of the bonuses you get for selling those packs and the commission that you get from selling those packs. $200, okay? Extra. Then in the next 30 days, you have a total of 60 days to earn the all-star bonus, and that's helping those 3 people you just brought in do exactly what you just did to get their 200, and now you're going to get a $400 bonus. Okay. Sorry, my throat's getting scratchy. All right, the driver bonus. I love this. This is available every single month, an extra $200. When you enroll 3 associates with one of those enrollment kits, you're going to get $200. Now, here's what I can tell you. I've been here just a few months, and sometimes the company, Jay Dhaliwal, our CEO, will go, you know what? For every 3, you can earn $200. So 200 more, 200 more, 200 more, and you can stack those. But typically it's $200 per month unless there is a special incentive. Okay. Now, lots of times people go, okay, well, if I get started, then what kind of support am I going to have? Oh, tons. First of all, one of the tools and support is our group called It's Not Magic, It's Neurocoding. If you're not in there, get in there. Ask the person that invited you to send you an invite to that. There's also the Ascend Team Performance Lab. That is the team page, the executive team page, where we're going to give you information and keep you up to date and train you. There's also the Pinnacle Collective. That's my team and down, and we're going to do the same thing in there and give you the announcements and answer all the questions and have tips and tools on how to run a successful business. I mentioned that we have a new app, and the app just went live recently. This is a new gift from our CEO. This normally could cost anywhere from $15 a month to $100 a month. I mean, that's how all encompassing this app is, and it's free. Why? Because only the best for us, and Jay believes that wholeheartedly. And so we get this app where we can literally run our business from for free. Of course, the person that signs you up is your support as well. They're going to point you in the right direction and get you started. There's Lori and Troy. They are our fearless leaders, and there's my husband and I, and we do everything that we can do to help you become successful. We are a very fast-growing team, and I will tell you, momentum is where it's at. And so now is the perfect time to jump in with us and start experiencing this momentum for yourself. So with that, I want to thank you for joining us on Testimony Tuesday. We're going to do it again next month, same time, same channel, different testimonies, and we hope that you'll invite some friends along. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to hang out here for a bit. Does anybody have any questions?
Great presentation.
Thank you. Okay. Let me check the chat real quick. I'm sure you guys were already